It's not always simple to achieve our goals. What if we could improve our odds of achieving our goals by seeing ourselves acing that upcoming work presentation, imagining oneself crossing the finish line at an annual marathon or charity run, or just visualizing ourselves learning to cook a gourmet meal? Hello there guys, welcome back to our channel. Don't forget to drop a like before we move on. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to our channel. By clicking the bell symbol, you may also enable post notification. Let's get started without further ado. While the practice of mindful meditation, yoga, and the development of new hobbies is recommended during stressful times, the fundamental fact that most of us find perplexing is the variation in perceived effectiveness of these self-improvement measures as reported by our network of social contacts. Our brain is incredibly powerful, so powerful in fact that it can reorganize itself. This is significant because you can tap into it through meditation and you can utilize it to modify the way you think and react to circumstances over time. Neuroplasticity is the technical term for this brain ability. It's a term you've probably never heard before, and while it may sound terrifying, it refers to the good force of meditation. Neuroplasticity is a scientific breakthrough that has demonstrated that, contrary to popular belief, it is possible to reorganize the brain by developing new pathways and neurons as we mature. This adds to the evidence of the efficacy of numerous metrics that can be tailored to an individual's needs. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, a neurosurgeon, journalist, and recent guest on Deepak Chopra's new podcast series, Infinite Potential, where the two talked about how we might rewire our brains for tremendous success in life. Our brain is a galaxy unto itself. We've merely scratched the surface of what it's capable of, Dr. Gupta stated. It's feasible that neurochemical combinations can generate what we call consciousness and thought awareness. Neurochemicals are tiny organic molecules that play a role in the activity of the nervous system. Neuroplasticity, which encompasses both neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons, and synaptogenesis, the formation of new synapses, is responsible for the rewiring of your brain, new connections between neurons. You can help these two things grow faster, Chopra explains. Meditation, contemplative self-inquiry, mindfulness, asking meaningful questions, and visualization can help you progress in those two areas. You may turn an abstract hope into an image that inspires and guides you through visualization. According to a research titled The Future of Memory, Remembering, Imagining, and the Brain, the human brain can't always tell the difference between a memory and a vision of the future. To put it another way, you and your brain can work towards duplicating your final objective in real life when visualizing it. Long-term rewiring of the brain, we must practice visualization for 5 to 10 minutes per day for 6 weeks. If we are busy during the day, try doing the practice before going to bed, or first thing in the morning. Asking ourselves the following questions before we begin the visualization process is: what is my unique skill? What is the purpose of my life? What are my objectives? The responses will help you focus on what you want to achieve, and the visualization of that results will cement it in your mind as something sure to happen since it has happened before. If we have a goal in our mind, we should write it down and read it first thing in the morning to remind ourselves of it. Another technique to rewiring is feeding our brain, taking naps, expanding our vocabulary, and not letting the workday linger. You may wonder what all this is. Feeding your brain means that if your brain accounts for only a tiny percentage of your overall body weight, it consumes a quarter of all the food you consume. If you want to improve your brain pathways, you need to improve your nutrition. That involves snacking on walnuts, blueberries, and avocado throughout the day. If you want to enhance neuroplasticity, you should focus on getting enough vitamin D and magnesium. Taking naps means that obviously, getting a decent night's sleep of 7 to 9 hours will always help you have a better brain day. A 20-minute afternoon snooze, on the other hand, can boost your neuroplasticity potential even further. A short nap promotes the development of dendritic spines, which serve as vital connectors between your brain's neurons. Expanding our vocabulary will help in the rewiring of our brain. Every day, try to learn one new word. Experts claim that this simple gesture will activate a slew of new cerebral connections, both visual and oral. Don't let the workday linger. It's like neuroplasticity, like muscle building, requires rest to function correctly. Managers should integrate and enforce an in-the-day process that stresses introspection and thankfulness for modest wins, according to Dr. Chinishian. Thanks for the fantastic ideas in the brainstorming session today, everyone. A Slack message said at the end of the day, "See you tomorrow," for example, might make the team feel appreciated. The optimum conditions for neuroplasticity are created by putting a hard stop to the pressures of the day. in a way that also enhances endorphins. It also sends the message that it's okay to leave work for the evening and unplug. Mini habits, tiny habits, or atomic habits all are terms for minuscule habits. The primary idea behind little practices is to concentrate on smaller rather than preparing longer and larger patterns. Instead of completing 50 push-ups each day, we can commit to merely 4 or 5 push-ups per day, which will be much easier to stick to. We can utilize our resolve to do 4 or 5 push-ups if we don't feel like doing them. Instead of writing 2,000 words every day, we will be more likely to stick to our pledge if we commit to writing 50 words per day. This is because 5 push-ups or 50 words do not require much willpower. Your willpower has a daily limit, and the more you use it, the slower it becomes. Small practices don't require much willpower, but they will drive you to act, as described. When you take action, emotion is triggered and then intrinsic motivation kicks in. You don't require willpower when you have intrinsic motivation. After writing for 50 words, you may not feel like writing at all. You can't do anything on those days, no matter how strong your willpower is, to begin with. This occurs during the early stages of habit formation. It's okay to skip a day, but not 2 in a row, while trying to establish productive habits. Rewire your brain necessitates repetition because skipping days damages your neural pathways and disrupts existing connections. This is why we can break bad habits. If we don't engage in certain unhealthy habits for several days, the connection weakens and eventually dies. It gets easier to control our negative habits when the connection weakens. If you don't feel like writing anymore, don't worry about it. At the very least, you wrote 50 words and kept the streak going. That will assist you the following day. When we undertake tiny practices consistently, we eventually get momentum. Everything about you changes as a result of this. It's critical to visualize who you want to be and what you want to achieve. For instance, you could wish to provide an outstanding presentation to your supervisor. Consider coming up to the front of the office and speaking confidently, only to be greeted with a standing ovation. Now that you've got this image in your head, all you have to do is match it to your memory or vision of it happening. If you want your manager to give you a glowing year-end review, put that aim down on a note and read it every morning. After that, you'll go about your day with your goal in mind. Athletes have long been known to employ visualization to help them achieve their goals, such as visualizing themselves scoring the game-winning goal or breaking a world record in front of 50,000 spectators. Star athletes and entrepreneurs alike are more likely to achieve their goals when they imagine success in a specific area, which keeps fear away and leaves no room for self-doubt or visualizing failure. In an interview, Buffalo Bills kicker Stephen Hauschka said, "I imagine the stadium I'll be playing in the day before the game. I imagine how the wind will blow, what the field will look like, and how the fans will react." Positive sensations of confidence and clarity should accompany visualization. While your brain is complex at work, rewiring connections, visualizing accomplishment daily allows you to relax and focus on the tasks at hand. You get my drift. It's not only that envisioning what you want to achieve will make it happen, there's an essential intermediate phase that takes place. When we picture success in one area and it happens, we start to believe that anything is attainable if we can conceive it. When you don't allow yourself to visualize failure, you don't think about it. Mario Andretti, the legendary race car driver, famously remarked that his secret to racing success was to never glance at the race course's surrounding barriers or you'll steer right into them. There will be no failure if there is no visual evidence of negligence. If you visualize the result, you'll be able to cross the finish line. The goal is to have the confidence and clarity that comes with envisioning. It allows you to unwind and concentrate on the hard work required to make your idea a reality. Instead of developing false memories of something horrible that hasn't happened yet, you should invest your time building muscle memory so that you can thrive when the time comes. So visualize who you want to be or what you want to achieve, and then make it happen. That's all we've got for you today, guys. Also, don't hesitate to thumbs up the video and subscribe for more entertaining content. And we'll see you again soon.